Hello, guys. Welcome back. So we've been kind of making hay while the sun shines. It's kind of funny because I'm actually the opposite. As long as the sun is out, I kind of sit around like this. Soon as the sun starts to set, my energy level comes back up. I think I'm part vampire. We've been making a joke. Sometimes my mom would say, "Get my days and nights mixed up," but I'm just normally a night person, I think. And we've been working on a thing. I'm distracted. I got one of Loki's toys. It's over there and it's bright colors. I'm distracted. Um, we've been doing a thing where we're having all the gods come in and, working with them, and I'm working with angels and that. And I'm open with you guys about that because I figure that when we're going through something as rough as we're currently going through, it's time to set aside religion and politics and country and all that and just work together. I told Odin, we laughed and laughed. I said, we can go back to not liking each other when this is all through. And he laughed and laughed. And of course, the angels have absolutely no sense of humor whatsoever. So they just kind of look at you disapprovingly. And they don't get, our humor all the time. They can have wonderful sense of humor. But my particular guardian angel has absolutely zero chill. I don't know how we got put together. We're like the odd couple. He's always fluffing out about something. And shut up, look, you don't help. Um, as we're getting put together, one of the funny things about working with angels is they feel very free to give their opinion on things too, and they have a certain idea of how things should be. And I'll be watching the news or something, and they'll be puffing up and saying, "That's not how people should be." And I said, that's how people are. You have to make allowances. And it's not like they're terribly unforgiving or anything. It's just the particular ones I work with, they get all fluffed out, for lack of a better word. I mean, angels, people will tell you if you meet them, they usually don't have wings, but sometimes you'll just think of them having wings because it's what we think of when we look at art and we think of angels. They started doing the wing thing in art to visualize how quickly they travel, and it kind of stuck, and some will oblige you, some won't. um and Mr. Fluff Fluff, there's a lot of those around here, is all fluffed out because he can't believe that humans make some of the choices we do. And again, he's not being unreasonable. It's just sometimes some certain angels are better at understanding humans than others. I got the one that doesn't always understand us. And I had did a thing, and this is not a humble brag, of I've been saving points and saving points and saving points, and Asmodeus gave me that lost kitten in the rain lock that he's really good at. And I had had a choice. I had finally saved up enough to get myself kitty glitter. I wanted that so bad, a slot machine. And I think I saved up enough for it. And something told me, why don't you check the rewards and check the cherries? And the Red Cross was in there, so there goes kitty glitter. And I'm not doing that to humble brag, but it was like Asmodeus giving me those big soulful eyes that he can do so well. Like he's a sad kitty out in the rain, and he's so sad. And so I ended up doing that, and the angels will be like, "Well, you did that." I said that was entirely selfish as well because I might need that in the near future. And they kind of looked at me like profoundly disappointed. I said, "We're not like you. Whether you believe that they evolved on their own or they've always been there or they were created, they're more in service than we are. We have free will. We can choose whether to serve each other or to only serve our own needs." And I have been getting this feeling, but I haven't been told it, but a lot of people seem to be getting the same feeling that we're going past the time where carrot and stick religion is good for us, and we're just going to be offered fields and fields and fields of carrots. Like any choice you make, fine, but like I could have made a choice to get the game pack. And that would have been fine. That would have been a carrot. It would have been like, okay, this will keep you happy, and it'll keep you from, like, say, going to other people and going, I don't have any money for games. And it will, and it will keep you from boredom. And certainly you have done stuff in the past for charity. But there was also the thing of, hey, if I give to this particular charity, I might be saving my own life someday. I might be saving somebody else's life someday. So, it was kind of like carrots and carrots, and it wasn't like a choice of this thing is utterly selfish and this we're going to punish you and this thing is good and you'll get some kind of reward. It was just like, which one do you want? And if I would have taken the one carrot, if I would have taken the game, yeah, that would have felt good and I would have felt guilty later. But as I did the other thing, it's like I feel good now and hopefully it'll help somebody. Um and it's just a thing. I think we're getting to evolve spiritually, so to speak, to the point where you're seeing carrot and stick break down. If you don't know what that means, it means that you're shown a yummy and you're shown a punishment. And after enough times of getting the punishment, you're supposed to go towards the yummy. And some people also say it's like having a carrot on a stick, like held out in front of you, making you chase the yummy. But it's the same idea. It's like treating you like a child, is treating you like an animal. Of you couldn't possibly make the right moral decision on your own. But it feels like that's all breaking down and going away, and the gods are like, okay, you know, you're big enough spiritually. You've got this stuff figured out. You know what's right and wrong. You don't need, to go to any specific temple to be told that. You know that if you do something right, it feels right. If you do something wrong, it feels wrong. I don't need to tell you that. One second, these damn allergies. And the thing to remember is to, like in situations like this, as Mr. Rogers would say, to look for the helpers, to look for the people doing good. Like there was this woman who help these older people that were frightened to get out of their car at the store because it was like a mob scene and they didn't want to get out. They were scared, so she shopped for them. And there have been people like sending cards or care packages to shut in neighbors and everything. And there are people trying to get people on the streets so we can get food and medicine to people. And they're already running, virus, you know, either it's either the prevention or cure. It's one of the two, but it's like there's a shot testing. You can look it up. You guys know stroke brain. I don't always remember which it is. But there's a lot of good going on in the world, and that's the thing to remember that, in trying times it can be very natural to put ourselves first, and sometimes that is the right choice because you have to have food, clothing, and shelter before you can help anyone else. But to know when you have enough. And I knew I had hundreds, if not thousands, of games because theoretically I have every game I have, and then I have every free game on the internet. So I have more than enough. I didn't need it, but somebody might need blood. Somebody might need, assistance from the Red Cross. They're at least out there. I had a charity that I favor, and I won't mention them because I think everybody deserves to have a fall from grace every once in a while. And I went to their website. Something told me go to their website, check them out. Basically, they're just bitching about ineffective leadership in this country and bitching and moaning and saying that they're not being deployed. I'm like, well, you're an independent organization. You don't have to wait for executive orders to be deployed. And I thought there's no sense standing around giving blame. You people aren't being very professional right now. What you have to do is get boots on the ground. The Red Cross is already out there. I'm like, the Red Cross is out there doing shit. I know who I'm giving my money to. And usually this other charity is usually particularly good, but they fell on their face this time. Whether you think we have the best leadership right now in the world or the worst, you can't always wait for leadership to tell you to do something. You have to remember a lot of us had Girl Scout training or Boy Scout training or some kind of Scout training or some kind of training. You have to remember your training. You have to remember that sometimes we have to work together as a group. And I think it's time that we, say bugger all to the idea of having distinct, and I don't mean socialism that's going to come off like that, distinct ideas about this religion here and that one over there and this country here and that one over there and this ethnicity here and that one over there. That stuff doesn't matter. If this hasn't taught us to have compassion for people, nothing will. And at the end of the day, this started because people were just trying to live their lives and be happy, and a terrible accident happened out of it. This was nobody's intent. It just happened. We don't know where diseases come from. We can kind of sort of know how they develop, but this wasn't a punishment from the gods. This isn't the Archangel Michael going around smiting people. This isn't some kind of judgment from as I heard somebody say, from animals or something. It's a disease, you know? They happen, they crop up. We have them all the time. It's like there's a study that's been done, and it's true. Most of us, and I'm not saying this to scare you, can have cancer multiple times in our lifetime, and we never detect it, and our bodies knock it out naturally. So, we have diseases on this planet. We know this. And the gods would, if they could, remove every naughty, bad thing from the environment. And like he's like, but they can't for whatever reason. It's part of nature. It's an unfortunate part of nature, but it's there, so it has to be dealt with. And if it should have taught us anything, it's just to raise the health standards globally and to say, okay, you know what? These people are always going to want to have this sort of lifestyle and have these sort of markets. So what can we do to make them safer so this doesn't happen again and people don't get sick again? And it benefits everybody globally. So if you have to be a little self-serving in the way you think, it's helping you too, as you can now see. So, I hope some good comes out of this. I hope people realize that, in the end of the day, religion doesn't really matter. It's not a contest of who has the strongest god or who has the best religion. It's not a contest of who lives in the best country or who dies with the most toys or this or that or the other. And I hope this at least gets us a nudge in the right direction to get past that, because it has been good to see the people that are coming together and everything else. And on a lighter note, I did check out the UU church, and the particular pastor they had on is still wandering around the parking lot. Theologically speaking, I am not sure why, but they let the atheist speak this week. And he has no idea what's going on, and he doesn't understand why. And he was leaning on science and humans, and those aren't helping him right now. And I'm like, it happens because you're right about the science part. We do have, this is a natural occurrence, but, you know, tragedy doesn't preclude the existence of the gods or God. You know, everybody else had their faith on lock. Everybody else was beautiful. They were singing their hymns and they were playing their piano and playing their. Everybody else had their faith on lock. But when he started talking about Jesus and Vishnu like they were people's imaginary friends, I'm like, dude, that's your problem right there. You need to adopt an imaginary friend and just start working with them for a while and get yourself some faith. That's why you can't lead anybody right now. And Lucky and I were ribbing each other. I go, I bet the real reason that church is empty is nobody wants to hear him speak. And we're like, we're ribbing each other. But, I hope that dude does find some faith. I think we try to believe in the wrong type of God, in the God that will fix everything instantly. And we are having stuff fixed. We are having prayers answered. Shut up, Lucky. Certain tickers roll back certain times, and we have been looking at each other like, is it the second coming or the dead rising up? What's going on? Um, we are having our prayers answered because we already have stuff in trial testing. We already have people getting shots and going through the trial to see if this stuff works. We already have people trying to get food and hand sanitizer and help and everything out there. We have people taking care of each other, and something Loki was nudging me to tell you, you might be the one all the time in your group of friends that takes care of everybody else. I know that can be hard because, you can naturally start to grumble and think, nobody called me. Nobody tried to see if I was okay, but, sometimes your friends end up depending on you to be the one to do that stuff. Don't get bitter and isolate yourself because they won't check on you. Sometimes you end up being the leader, for lack of a better word, in your circle. And I was kind of a little pissed off that neither of my friends thought to call me, but I at least checked in on them. And I can tell the one doesn't want to be checked on because she kind of wants to sit there and worry. And the other one, she's got enough friends that were still coming around that she was kind of like, we talked for a good hour the first time, but she's kind of too cool for school right now. But I know when her other friends are also shuttered in, all of a sudden my phone will start ringing. But I can't get mad at her because, you have to accept people as they are, and they're not going to magically transform into what you want. And I think that's the problem that particular pastor has with his idea on God. He wants God to be this, magical God that does everything instantly. It would be great if it worked like that. It would really be great, and they would love to do that for us, guys. They would. Any god would love to do that, angel, saint, whomever you're working with. But, they can't always do that for us. It takes time. So, we just wanted to touch base with you. Oh my god. I hope I didn't fall asleep in the camera. I looked over, I'm like, we went over 14 minutes? Wow. So, I hope you guys are doing well. We just wanted to catch up with you. We're trying to balance. I actually have like 5 million games I want to play for you guys, but we're trying to balance. I know we're in for the long haul. We're trying not to play them all in one day. But hey, what would you guys like to see? You guys know about everything we have on tap. We're looking to play free games right now, just until we know where stuff's going. But we've got, theme parks, we've got more nature stuff, we've got, action games. You guys have a pretty good idea of what we have on tap. So if there's something you would like to see, let us know and we'll make an effort to get that out to you guys. Please do not suggest Roblox or Minecraft. I love you, but I don't love you that much. I have to draw the line somewhere, and if anybody suggests FNAF, I might have to delete you. There's actually a new game Scott Cawthon came out with, and I'm like, I'm not that incredibly sad. I had a moment where I was gonna almost go back and do something on the other channel, but I'm like, no, it's gone. I know it's gone. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye bye.